In the village of Yumuos lived a man named Okonkwo, a man whose heart was as hard as the dry season earth. He ran the local provision shop, yet his own family knew only hunger. One rainy afternoon, his 6 children, shivering and soaked, pleaded with him. "Papa, we are hungry. We need money for food." But Okonkwo, his face a mask of anger, barked back. "See, I don't have money. Do you want me to steal money for you?" He turned away, leaving them in the downpour. But inside his shop, a different story unfolded. Secretly, he would pull up floorboards and open old paint buckets, his eyes gleaming as he counted massive stacks of naira notes, a fortune hidden from the world, and most of all, from his own kin. His wife, Adora, her face etched with worry, watched him stock new sodas onto the shelves. Their 7-year-old, Chidara, tugged at her wrapper, whispering, "Mama, I'm hungry." Adora's heart broke. "Wait, my child," she soothed. "Let me see what I can find." She turned to her husband. "My husband, the children need to eat. Can you give me 200 naira for rice?" Okonkwo scoffed. "I don't have money." "But you just bought new drinks," she protested. "That is business money, not for eating," he snapped. "Tell those children to manage. What do they think this is, a palace?" That evening, the family's meal was a shared bowl of plain white gari, soaked in water. Chikuti, the eldest at 14, pushed his share away. "I'm not hungry, Mama," he said, his voice quiet. "Share mine to the small ones." The hardship followed them to school. Chikuti was singled out by his teacher. "Your PDA fees, 5,000 naira. If your father doesn't pay by Friday, don't come back." The threat hung heavy in the air. Back at the shop, Adora pleaded with Okonkwo once more. "Chikuti will be expelled. They need 5,000 naira." Okonkwo slammed his fist on the counter, his face contorted with rage. 5,000 naira? For what? To read books? I didn't go to university and see how successful I am. That boy should learn a trade. School is a waste of money. He dismissed her, his decision final, his heart sealed tight. The family's suffering reached its peak one fateful evening. 4-year-old Obiagili lay on a thin mat, her small body trembling with fever. "Mama, my body is paining me," she whimpered. Her skin was hot to the touch. Desperate, Adora carried her limp daughter to the shop, a final, desperate appeal. "Obiagili is very sick. I need 500 naira for the clinic." But Okonkwo was unmoved. "Use local herbs," he said dismissively. "Our mothers didn't go to the clinic and they survived. These children are too soft." Adaora's hope turned to ash. She had no choice but to take her daughter home, praying the herbs would work. But they didn't. 3 days later, Obiagili was barely conscious. In a panic, Okonkwo finally rushed her to the hospital. In the sterile, white room, a stern doctor faced him. 3 days? And you're just bringing her now? She could have died. We need to admit her. The bill will be 15,000 naira. Okonkwo's hands went to his pockets, finding them empty. He stood frozen, the weight of his greed crushing him. I don't have that kind of money now," he stammered. Just then, a familiar voice cut through the silence. It was Mr. Ease, Chikuti's teacher. "I'll pay," he said, stepping forward. "Save the child first." Okonkwo watched in stunned silence as the poor teacher, a man he had scorned, paid the bill that he, a rich man, could not. At that moment, little Obiagili stirred, her weak voice calling out, "Papa." The sound shattered Okonkwo's hardened heart. That was the breaking point. A dam of regret burst within him. He raced back to his shop, a man possessed. He tore up the floorboards, frantically digging out the buckets of money, his treasure, his curse. He carried it all home and dumped the mountain of cash on the table before a shocked Adora. Through tears, he confessed, "This is what I've been saving, while our children starved. While you suffered, I almost destroyed our future trying to save for it. Today, we're buying food. Real food. Meat, rice, everything." The transformation was immediate. The family, once shrouded in gloom, now walked through the market, their bags overflowing. That night, they shared a feast of jollof rice and chicken, a celebration of life and second chances. "Mama, is this all for us?" Chidara asked, her eyes wide with wonder. "Yes, my child," Adora replied, her voice thick with emotion. "All for us." Okonkwo began to mend the damage he had caused. He went to the school and paid the headmaster not just for the current term, but for the next one as well. "I don't want my children to ever be sent home again," he declared. He took Adora to the tailor. Measure her for 6 new wrappers. The finest material. My wife deserves the best. He found Mr. Ease and pressed 25,000 naira into his hand. You saved my daughter when I was too blind to do it. This is your money back with appreciation. Please, let me begin to repair the damage I've done. His most important act of repentance happened at home. He knelt before his children, his head bowed in shame. I was a bad father, he cried. I chose money over you. I was wicked and foolish. Can you forgive me? Shakuti stepped forward, placing a hand on his father's shoulder. Papa, we forgive you. In that moment, the family came together in a group hug, a tangled mess of tears and smiles, their broken bonds finally healing. Weeks later, Okonkwo stood before his village in the sun-drenched church. His voice, clear and strong, echoed through the hall. I was blind, but now I see, he testified. I thought I was wise, but I was the greatest fool. Brothers and sisters, don't sacrifice your family on the altar of saving. Don't let your children starve while money sits idle. The richest man is the one whose family is thriving, loved, and cared for. As the sun set over Yumuos, Okonkwo walked with his family, no longer a miser, but a wealthy man in every way that truly mattered, his laughter echoing through the golden light.